for your exam. Next one is managerial control. So what is this control? After coordination, we have important topic is known as control. Control is an important concept and process is management. In the past, managers believed that necessity of control arose only when something went wrong. Then object of control was to find out person responsible for these events and take action against him. In the olden terms, control was nothing but a people or the person who used to control. That is, manager would be there or certain higher level team would be there. They believed that control would come into existence only when something went wrong in an organization. That is, those people have to come and see what is going wrong and how it is being going wrong. So that is known as control. You have to take care of that people. You have to control those employees who are working in the organization. From them, see what all the events are taking place and how they are not working properly. You have to see that. That is known as control. When something went wrong, this control will come into existence. According to EFL branch, control is checking current performance against predetermined standards contained in the plans with the view of ensuring adequate progress and satisfactory performance. This is very, very important definition of control. According to him, checking the current performance, that is known as control, right? Managerial control. I am being a manager. I have to check the working employees working in my organization. How you will check? Mainly based on the performance. What is the performance those people are giving to your organization against predetermined standards contained in the plans with the view of ensuring adequate progress and satisfactory performance. Check the current performance of the person or the employee who is working in the organization. That is known as control. Then according to George, controlling is determining what is being accomplished, that is, evaluating the performance and if necessary applying the corrective measures so that performance takes place according to the plans. This is determining what is being accomplished, evaluating the plans according to the, that is, evaluate the performance according to the plans. That is known as control. You see whether the person is working properly in your organization to get the good profit for the organization according to the plan you have done. That is known as controlling. Okay, so two different scientists gave two different meanings. One is control is checking the current performance against predetermined standards. Next one is controlling is determining what is being accomplished, what he is doing according to the plans of an organization. That is known as control. So there are certain steps in an organization. Three important steps in the organization. So what are the main important steps? The first step is steps in the control process, establishment of standards. That is the first step. The first step in control process is setting up of standards of the performance. This is very important. I told you control means mainly one person will be there. He will be controlling the main performance or activities of the other people in that organization. Mainly, you have to set standards for that performance. Standard means put some rules and regulations to the particular employees who are working in an organization, give certain deadlines, tell them that within deadline you have to complete this work, or certain standards you should set and give to the people so that those people will be under a controlled hands and you'll get a good output from the people. Okay, standard act as a reference line or a basic of an actual performance. Standard should be set precisely and in quantitative terms. See that you can be able to quantitative, that is, you can able to measure them properly. Standards should be set in such a way that they should be quantitative. When it is quantitative, then only you will get a good quality from the employees. Standards expressed in vague or general terms such as cost should be reduced, rejection should be reduced, or not as cost should be reduced by 10% or rejection should be reduced. Like this, you have to give them in a quantitative terms. Don't make it in a qualitative terms. I should get a good profit by 10% more than the profit whichever we have gained in the last time. Or I should get a 0.5% profit or rejections. Only 0.5% rejection should be there. Like that. Okay, so you have to maintain certain benchmarks or set certain standards so that you will get a control of over all the persons who are employee working in their organization. Practice different types of standards, that is physical standards such as units of production per hour. So this is very, very important. So you may give a standards in such a way that these people have to work certain these many number of hours for an organization to get a good profit. Cost standards such as direct and indirect cost per unit, like this, these are the certain standards can be taken. Then revenue standards such as sales per customer, capital standards such as rate of a return of capital invested, intangible standards such as competency of managers and employees. Like this, you can set certain standards so that coordination will be there, communication will be there. Based on that, very, very important thing, control will be there over the people who are working in the organization. Next one is measuring and comparing actual performance with standards. The second one, the stepping control process is measuring the actual performance of individual group or units, comparing it with the standards. That is, you have set with the standards. You are look here like this physical cost standards, revenue standards, capital standards, intangible. Many standards you have set. Now you have to measure the performance of a particular person based on the particular standard which you have put. The quantity measurement should be done in cases where standards have been set in numerical terms. This will make evaluation easy and simple. Like that, different performance measurements will be there. For example, we people, when you take your this thing, how do we measure your performance? Based on the results, what you will get, how much scoring you are getting, whether you are getting distinction, first class, second class, like that. See whether you are measuring in numerical terms or non-numerical terms. That is, it can be quantitative, it can be qualitative. Like that, you have to measure and compare the actual performance with the standards. Taking corrective action. Final step in a control process is take corrective action. Action so the deviations may not occur again and objectives of organization are achieved. Why this action is there? Look here, if we are measuring and comparing the actual performance, when you measure certain performance, you may think that performance of that organization or the people who are working in organization not up to the mark. Quantitative is not up to the mark. According to the production team and sales team, you are not able to produce the results properly, or you are not able to get the results properly. That is what I may see. The managers will see. For that, you have to take corrective actions. That is known as correction. This will involve taking certain decisions by management like replanning or re-rewarding of goals of standards, reassigning, classification, like that. Anything you can do. Or you can change the manager, you can change the team in the organization, or you can change the plan only. Like that, you can take and see that performance of that people who are working in that organization working very well. That is, that performance of that particular person is 100% and you may achieve good 100% profit from that person. These are known as corrective actions. Next, control methods. So in that controlling, you have two different types of methods. One is past oriented control. Next one is future oriented controls. So past oriented control measure results after the process. This is known as past. This is known as past action controls. They examine what has happened in past for a particular period. Example of past oriented controls are accounting records, school grade reports, like that. For example, you people, we have to measure you people when you come to our organization or educational institution. How we measure your performance? We see your results of your second PUC, or we see the results of 10th standard. Then we can see, yes, we can judge this person. Yes, he is able to read properly, or he is good student. We can judge it like that. Past oriented controls, we have to see the past records. These controls are used to plan the future behavior based on the past experience. You can, or the past record, you can start planning for the future. That is known as past oriented controlling. Next one is future. These are also known as feed forward controls or steering controls. The controls are designed to measure results during the process so that action can be taken before job is done or period is over. During that particular process, I assign certain job to you people. At that particular time, I can control you people based on the certain actions or whatever the task I am giving. Based on that, I can control you people. That is known as at that time what I can able to control. Feed forward control serve as a warning post principally to direct attention rather than to evaluate. Example of such control as cash flow, funds flow, networking planning, which helps managers to see that they have problems in such areas of cash on time. That is at particular time, particular what